a parameter from command line argument, that should be available in the mapper class. So that should be available in the mapper class, that should be available in the reducer class we have seen yesterday, right? So do guys tried it? Try to execute the program. Do you guys did the hands-on?
And we didn't get time this weekend practice.
Okay. Okay, but I can understand. But guys, if you didn't try, so you'll forget the concept. Until unless you try it with the hands-on or with the different options, you'll not get familiar with the MapReduce. MapReduce is the a
Yes,
little
yes.
tricky part compared to other tools, um, like compared to Hive, Pig, HBase and all. You can easily understand them because they are what we will be day-to-day life we'll be seeing SQLs, and we know the joins, so we know those things. But when it comes to MapReduce, which is a little different, okay, so it has a different mechanisms. So please try hands-on, and that's why I have already shared the code instead of that's why we are doing more examples. Instead of one example, we'll be doing multiple examples. If you understand MapReduce thoroughly, the rest of all, if you go with the Spark, if you go with the Hive, HBase, anything, you can easily understand. You can easily understand them. Mm, okay, so I'm just starting my VM. Everyone, please start your VM. Okay, do you guys have any doubts? Do you guys have any doubts? Do you guys have any doubts?
Ravi, not now, but my one doubt is we are in .NET. If you write anything, you can debug, right? In
Mm.
Eclipse, I don't know how to debug that.
I have shown that debugging in one of the video. So anyway, I'll be showing one more time.
Okay, okay.
In one of the program we have debug data because Madhu asked me to show that. Okay, that
Maybe I missed it since. We'll see.
we have debugged it. It's pretty simple. Before debugging it, what you need to do? What are the class or what is the class you want to debug? We need to put the breakpoints. Correct? The breaking points
Yes,
from where you want to debug, or which part, which logic you want to debug. We have to keep the breakpoint. After putting the
yes, yes.
breakpoint, so from the driver class, we are right click and we'll say run as, right? Run as in the Eclipse. After in the class, when you say right click and run as, here instead of run as, you have to choose as a debug as.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I will try it.
I'll also show you one more time today. So yeah, that's important actually. That's also important to debug. So when you debug, then only you'll come to know what's happening internally, or whether your logic is working properly or not. You can easily understand.
Yeah, I wrote one program, first program itself. By running that Hadoop command, I am getting some exceptions. So I couldn't able to debug that. So I stopped for some time.
No, so if you are launching a job into, oh, if you are launching job into your, if you are launching job into your MR mode, and if you're trying to debug it, you cannot debug because
Yeah.
MR MR mode, what you are doing, you are exporting the jar and you are launching a job.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
that's a
Yes.
completely different from your Eclipse.
Yeah, that's what. Before that, I need to
Uh,
debug it and I have to
yeah,
check.
you can debug into your Eclipse, then you can launch a new job. That's the one way. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you still want to see debugging in a cluster mode, what you can do, you keep some system.out.printlns. I mean sysouts. You keep the println statements, and you can uh, you can debug that way. But that's not the proper or ideal way to do it. But Eclipse one is the best way to do it. Okay, just starting. Yeah, before it start, let me bring you a problem statement. So we'll be working on based on the problem statements. If you understand the problem statement, based on that we'll be working on it. This is we have seen this. Yeah, this is what we have discussed yesterday, and how to get the your parameter from the URL. I mean the URL in the sense, you get the parameter from the deep command line arguments. So please go through one more time. So the video is I'm uploading every day. Okay, the after class finishes, I'm uploading the video by 7:30. Before 7:30 only I'm uploading the video. Please go through them. Yep. So now my problem statement is, let's take an example, this one only. Hi all, how are you? I'm going to take this as an example. Here, for time being, we'll be seeing that all on text file only, not to worry. So we'll be taking different file formats later point of time. Once you get familiar with this, once you get familiar with this, are you guys able to hear me? Shravani, Srikant, Srini, Sulabha?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can.
Okay. So once we get familiar with the MapReduce framework, we'll be seeing okay. Now this is my this is my text file, right? This is not okay, this is my text file. So let's simply browser open a browser. It's taking too much of time. We might have browsing so many things in Google, right? Let's open Google. This is the different kind of use case I'm going to show here. Please everyone. So as soon as I say how, immediately I'm getting the suggestions. How to make, how to use, how to get a GSM, how to activate GSM, how to. The immediate word is how to. The first it will check in my cache, and later it is just showing you, how are you. So the recommendation it is giving, how the recommendation is coming here. Let's say how to. So next something is giving how to open a Scala interpreter, or how to open Bangkok. So if you see, as soon as you're typing some word, it is giving you a suggestion. Yes or no? See, how to open file, how to open MacBook, how to open. So you are getting a suggestions here, correct? Madhu, Shravani, Srini, are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to explain here?
Yes, Ravi.
So when I say the word is why, why is Hadoop uses the writable? Why set jar this? Why do serious? Why do we dream? So something is coming, right? Immediate suggestions are coming. How they are coming? So first they will search in the our cache memory. So forget about how Google is working. The Google has a different mechanism. But my intention is here to explain you. So as soon as I say hi, the next word is all. Hi all. So how it will come? Based on the some algorithm. Based on the some algorithm. What is that algorithm? What is that algorithm? That's called biagram. That is called biagram. What is this biagram? Biagram is something, let's say when you say hi, the immediate word, let's say hi all came 1,000 times in all your files. Hi all came 1,000 times. When you say hi something hello, this came 100 times. So whenever searching for a hi, the next combination is all because it is came more times. It has the more hits. It has a more frequency. So what will happen when you say hi? The next word is it. You can predict it. Okay. Oh, because the combination is came more times. The hi all came 100 times, right? So some the same way something like when I say Hadoop, when I say Hadoop, when I say Hadoop, Hadoop is, let's say this it came this combination, this two word combination. It came 10,000 times. Let's say assume that you have multiple very big file 10,000 times it came, and there is something called Hadoop has 1,000 times. Now when you're looking for a Hadoop, what is the combination you can get? When you type Hadoop or when you're looking for Hadoop, what will be the next word? What will be the next word?
Is
Yep. So the Hadoop is may come here because this two words combination is more. This two words combination is higher than others. So that's why as soon as you say Hadoop, there may be a chance you get ease. How this is happening? How can you find two word combination count? This is something called two words combination count. What is this? Two words combination count. So now our problem statement is I want to find out this two word combination how many times came. This two words combination how many times came. Do you guys understand the problem statement? We have seen before single word how many times came. But this problem statement is two words combination. This two words combination how many times it came. This two words combination how many times it came. Is everyone understand the problem statement? Until understand the problem statement, we cannot go for the solution. Everyone understand the problem statement?
Yes, Vida.
Yeah. So now
Yes.
yeah, from this file, this file, I want to find this file. I want to find hi comma all came one time. How comma r one time. R comma u one time. How is one time. Is your one time. Your preparation one time. Like that I want to find the total count, the word combination, two word combination, how many times it came, we need to find out. So if you guys understood the problem statement, can someone tell me solution how we can achieve this? So I request you guys to think about it, take 2 minutes of time, think about it, how we can solve this problem. Anyone, anyone, tell me, think about it, how we can solve this problem. Similar to word count, but little thing is required. Uh, please tell me. Think about it and how can we solve the problem? I need a two word combination. It's not a language specific. You guys can tell me any language. Shravani, Srikanth, Madhu, do you guys understand the problem?
Yes, Veera.
So please think and
Yes,
let me.
Vera.
Yeah. So tell me what is the solution? How can you solve this problem? How can we solve this problem? Just give
Uh,
random guess. Yeah. Go ahead, Madhu.
we'll go with the mapper, such a
Mm-hmm.
way that we will go with the record input text reader.
Mm-hmm.
In the record reader, each row,
Mm-hmm.
uh, each row
Mm-hmm.
will 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 write a logic such a way the key will be the combination of these two strings.
Two strings. Okay. Now,
And
yeah. So let me put your things here. Let me put whatever you're explaining in the proper way. Your K1 will be long writable. So that never change. Correct? Because it's offset. Yes or no? Your V1 is a complete text. So the only logic changes your K2. So what is your K2?
the combination of the two, we'll concatenate with the for the two combination of words
You will
as a
concatenate.
key.
Very good. So actually I am looking for that point. So you will concatenate. It means it will be text. Correct?
Correct.
It is a text. Okay. So your V2 will be, I know that it will be number. So long writable or int writable. Correct?
Mhm.
This is what you are talking about. Okay. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So everyone will get the first, whenever I say the combination, everyone will think about K2 is a text only. Right? Let me explain you a little thing here. Now, it's very good. You tried something. Now, let's say how, comma, I'm talking about second line. So first line has only one word. Let's talk about the second line. So you have taken the line, you have broken it, you have a text string s equal to how. Very first time it will come how. Correct? What you are trying to say in the next loop, I'll concatenate ARE. That's what you are telling. That's what you are telling.
Yeah, I mean, because we'll get the whole string there for us,
Yeah. So
right?
now,
I mean, the whole line.
okay, correct. You will get a whole string like this. Now, when you concatenate like this, it will act as a single object. It will act as a single object. How or it will act as a single object. If it act as a single object, what is the problem? If it act as a single object, what is the problem? So I'll not be having an option to get a specific word. Suppose I want to compare two words are equal or not. Two words are equal or not. So let's say I have something called how is. There is something called how is. How is. So here my question is first I need to compare with the how. If these both are equal, then only I go and compare with the is. If I have a concatenated like this, how can I get the word one? I want to only word one. So I have a two words. In these two words, I want to get the word one. So you may say that, sir, again I can convert into string. I can do the substring. I can do a substring. But you are missing something. Or do you feel you are missing something here? Every time, how many words you will do a substring? How many you will bring it? Every time you need to substring based on the space. If you concatenate as a string, do you feel you are missing something? You cannot get a separate words,
Yeah.
two different words. Suppose if I want to get the only one word, I cannot get it. I don't have that option, right? When I go to a sort and shuffle, yes, you may say that it is a string. It can automatically sort based on its own comparator. I understand, but the actual use case is word comma second word one comma second word two. So here what's happening? So when I it is acting as a single object. It is acting as a single object. So how can I when I say how can I get the next word combination? It is a single object here, but if it is a different objects, this is one object, I can easily expect what can come next. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to explain? I'm showing you a problem. If you take it as a text, if you take it as a text, or if you take it as a string and you will say that I'll concatenate, I will do some substrings, I'll play with that. But still, it is not a different object. It's a single object. It's a single object, but no, single object. You don't have a something called get first words, get second word, do something. You don't have that option, right? So to do that, what we will do, I hope everyone understand the problem. If you are, if I follows Madhusudan approach, so I just shown you what is the problem comes here. So let's look at you.
In that case, we can go with the custom object with the two
Yeah,
properties.
exactly. In this case, what we need to do, yeah, very good,
So
Madhu. In this case, what we need to do, we have to go with our custom data type. We have to go to our custom data type. What the custom data type? I will be writing my own data type. Class, class. So let's say I'm naming it as a diagram. In this class, I have a word 1, word 2, and setters and getters to set some values and get the values. Setters and getters, setters and getters, setters and getters. So now, if my class has to act as a data type, yes or no? My diagram has to act as a data type. See, whatever the class I'm writing, this should act as a data type. Like K2, my diagram has to act as a K2. K2, what is the type of it? It is something called text type or long writable, some type, right? So now my class should act as a data type. How it will act as a data type? Why should it act as a data type? Because my class object will be traversing through a network. Will be traverse through a network from one server to one server or one machine to one machine. It will be traveling through a network. If any object to travel through a network, can we send them directly? So let's say I have an employee object. Let's say I have an employee object. I have a client machine here. I have a client machine here, client, and I have a server machine. I have a server machine. Here my application is running. So here also I have a Java application. So based on the employee object, so I'll send the employee object from here. So based on the employee ID, based on the employee ID, I will do some operations here in the server and I'll return some results to this client. So can I send employee object directly to a network? Sulba, who are from the Java background. I think Sulba is from Java background and it seems Madhu also from the Java background.
we need to
Send
see
it
like
using byte string.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
You can synchronize Java object and send it across to.
Synchronize.
Yeah.
I think you're synchronize or serialization?
Oh, serialization. Sorry.
Not synchronize, serialization, correct? Synchronize something
Sorry.
different, multi-threading.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Serialization, correct? Everyone agree with me? If you want to pass an object through a network, you cannot pass object. Object cannot travel through a network as it is. Java object. Okay, what you need to do? You need to implement serialization. What is the serialization? The serialization is a process of converting your object into byte stream, your object state into byte stream. Suppose your employee has employee ID, employee name, salary. Let's say three elements are there: ID, name, sal. So I cannot directly send, one second guys, I cannot directly send this employee object through a network. So for that, my class needs to be implement serializable. We have discussed in Java class, serializable interface. If you implement the serializable interface, what will happen? Your object is eligible to convert into byte stream. Your object is eligible to traverse through a network. Your object is eligible to write your elements like ID, name, salary into file. It means converting into bytes. Your object is eligible to convert into bytes, right? If you are not doing a serializable or serialization of your object cannot be convert. It cannot convert into bytes. If you even if you try to do it, it will say that uh, um, serialization not support or some exception will come. Serialization exception will come. Okay, I didn't remember the exact exception name, but it will throw an exception. You cannot do that. Okay, so understand everyone. So what is the importance of the serialization? Is everyone understand the what is the importance of the serialization?
Yes.
Okay, so in the same way, if you want to pass your diagram as an object to a MapReduce framework, it should be serializable. It should be serializable. Everyone agree with me? How we were writable? Why we have writable? Why we have a long writable? Why we have a boolean? Why we have a boolean writable? Why we have a text? Right? Why we have a float writable? Why we have a map writable? These are all by default serializable. By default they are serializable. Now my custom class, which is a diagram, is going to act as a data type. So when it is going to act as a data type, my object has to be serializable. So what I need to do here, my class has to be serializable. So but, and one more thing I would like to inform you here, Hadoop is not using Java specific serializable. Hadoop is not using Java serialization. Hadoop is not using Java serialization. It has its own serialization mechanism, which is called writable. Hadoop has its own serialization mechanism, which is called writable. Which is called writable. Do everyone is able to follow? Hadoop uses its own serialization mechanism, which is called writable. What is a writable? Writable is an interface. Writable is an interface where you can serialize your object in Hadoop, not Java serialization. Why Hadoop is not using Java serialization? It is an important interview question, guys. If you are a Java developer, if you are a Java developer, it is a important interview question from MapReduce. Why MapReduce is using its own serialization mechanism instead of using Java serialization? Why? What is the reason behind it? There are a couple of reasons. So many people say performance, XYZ, blah blah blah. How? You're telling performance. Yes, I do agree with the performance. How? You're saying a performance, some reason should be there, no? So Hadoop is giving better performance than your Java serialization. How? So to understand that, first we need to understand how Java serialization works. When you do a serialization, let's say when you do a serialization of a Java employee ID, Guys, I'm getting into a deeper level of little bit deep level of no, the problem statement. So forget about the problem statement. Now we are trying to understand the custom data type in Hadoop. So let's say I have an employee class. It has ID, name, salary. Now I want to do a relation of ID, but in the Java's relation, the very first limitation is if you want to do a serialization, you have to do complete object. You cannot choose. You cannot choose. I want to do see this. I want to do this. You cannot choose. The very first limitation in Java, if you want to serialize, you have to serialize only all the object. Even though if you have 100 elements, you have to if you have 100 elements, but you want to do serialization for only 3 elements. So what you need to do? You cannot select all these three. You have to do complete object, or you have to keep rest of the 97. Rest of the 97 you have to keep either static or transient. You have to keep other rest of other elements either static or transient. So then those objects cannot be serialized. Those elements cannot be serialized. What you need to do? Either keep keep them as a static variable or transient. So static variable, we cannot use the static variable everywhere. It has a very big impact because it maintains a single copy. So we may go with a transient. So all variables keep sitting and putting 90 elements as a serialization transient is not a good approach. You may say that I have something called externalization. So externalization is also different mechanism. Okay. First limitation. The second limitation, let's say when I do a serialization for only ID, when I do for the serialization for ID, what it will do, it will generate, after serialization, it will generate very big information about the serialization. So let's say it is 100, 101 is the my ID, employee ID. So to serialize 101, your Java serialization creates very big binary number. I mean, some hexadecimal number it will create. Very big number. It will create a very big number. It will be now some KBs. It will create a very big number. But when it comes to Hadoop, if I want to do a relation of 101, if I want to do a relation of 101, it will create a very simple number or 6 digit or 10 digit number. Where Java gives very big number and where Hadoop gives very small number because they follows a different algorithm. So these guys follows different algorithm. Let's look at how to make sure that is happening. Let's look at the document is provided in your Google Drive. Please open the document. The document is provided in Google Drive for everyone. I'm showing you where the document is. That has a very detailed information about your serialization. Go to notes, Mapreduce, go to notes. In the notes, you'll find it come to little bit, little down. You have something called writable, comparable. Writable and writable comparable in Hadoop. If you open this document, this document has some short notes, some information which I have collected from here and there. If you go through it, I'm just showing you. If you go through it, see here, I'm just serializing a small value, which is small integer value. I'm using Java's relation. If I do, this much big number has been created. This much big number has been created. This complete number has to go through a network because I'm passing an object and I'm taking other end. I'm taking that object. I need to deserialize. To deserialize, I should have this complete information. I should have this complete information. But the same thing if I do with Hadoop using writable, I'm creating this much small number of information. So if I have a huge number of huge information, that is burden on the network. It is for the small integer number. It is for the small int. If you go with the huge data, it is a burden on the network. It is the burden on the network. So that's why Hadoop uses their own mechanism of using serialization. Their own mechanism has this their own mechanism has to do for the serialization, but Java has its own mechanism and Hadoop has its own mechanism. That is the reason. That is the reason Hadoop has their own data types. So you may ask this question. I expected you guys will ask this question a long back. Ravi, you are telling that Hadoop is designed and developed using Java. Then why can't Hadoop uses their own Java data types? If you want class type data types, I have a class type data types like integer is the class type data type. Float, I'm talking about wrapper classes. Float is a data type. Boolean, these are all wrapper classes. Those are not primitive data type. I'm talking about integer, not int. Integer. I have something called float. I have something called boolean or long. I have something called double. These are all not primitive data type. These are all wrapper classes. These are all wrapper classes. They're all implemented the serialization. If you guys can just go ahead and look at the source code of this. These are all implemented serialization. Why can't Hadoop uses these data type? Why Hadoop come up with their own data type? Why? What is the reason behind it? The reason behind it, this is Java itself uses their own mechanism of the serialization. Hadoop uses their own different mechanism of the doing the serialization. If I go with the Java serialization, the problem is so it gives the more information about the small number and which is more burden on the network. The data which is traversing the network here simply like RPC calls, RPC signals, right? Sometimes it may uses the RPC signal. So your RPC signal carries a small amount of data. It cannot carries the big amount of the data. Remote procedure calls. Okay, so that's why Hadoop uses their own serialized mechanism to give the better performance. And in Hadoop, you have an option where you can select each word. Let's say I want to do serialization, these two words. I want to do serialization of only one word. I can choose it. But that also is available in Java by using externalization. Externalization. In Java serialization, we use as object input, object output stream. Object input, object output stream we use. But when it comes to Hadoop serialization, we use data input, data output. We use data input and data output classes to do serialization. Are you guys understand why Hadoop uses their own mechanism to do serialization? Why Hadoop is not using Java serialization? Understand, guys? This is very much important interview question. It may be there in interview. If you feel something is a tough interview, in the tough interview you'll be having this question. Madhu, Sravani, Srikanth, Sulabha, you guys understood?
Got it. Got it.
Sravani, Srikanth, everyone should understand this concept.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Srini,
Yes, sir.
understood, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So now everyone, please go through this document. Whatever the document, it's there in the drive. So it has the detailed information. Each and every detailed information I have kept here. The very little short notes and to easily understand the single page. And you have a very big notes also in the detailed. So here you have an examples. So guys can, someone can go through this. Someone can go through this document. Okay. So let's talk about now. I'm talking about, keep talking about writable. What is that writable? The writable is an interface. Look at here. Writable is an interface. I might be opened here already. If I'm not open, let me open it. Okay. I don't know, my Eclipse working is very widely. It's not working as I expected, even though I have a source code. Control Shift T. It will-
Data, can you also please share that pom.xml file?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll also share the pom.xml file for you guys.
Thank you.
It's very. The easiest way is this. This is the easiest way. Why it is not opening my stuff? I think I need to recompile this. It was working before very nicely. All of a sudden it stopped working. Oh, it is Java. Okay. Let me take my. Let me take Maven and Rosit. If it is a Maven, it's easy to decompile. But I'm facing some problem with. Yep, very good. It's opening. So let me show you writable. If you guys see here, writable is an interface which has only two methods. One is write method, other one is read fields method. Only two methods it has. One is the write method, another one is the read method. If you look at the method closely, it is writing into data output stream, not object output stream, not the object output stream. It is writing into data output stream. For what is the purpose? If you use the write method, it is something called serializing. You are serializing. Your writing means you are serializing. Your read means you are deserializing. You are deserializing. Write method is meant for serializing the object. Read fields is meant for deserializing the object. What is the deserialization? The reverse of serialization. Converting object state into byte stream is a serialization. Converting your byte stream into object is a deserialization. If you guys can look at this comment section here, serialize the fields of this object to out. Out is nothing but your out, this object. Out data output to serialize this object into this. This is the class to do a serialization. And when you look at this read fields, deserialize the fields of this object from in. In is nothing but your data input stream. Okay, for efficiency, implementation should attempt to reuse the storage in the existing object where possible. So that's why we're using in object. In object is deserializing is when you do a serialization, you write the data into output stream, you read the data from the input stream. Very simple way. To keep it in very simple way, if you want to write some data, write into output stream. If you want to read the data, read from the data input stream. Okay, so if you guys see my diagram class, so now what I have done, as we discussed the problem statement, we finalized that we should go with our own data type. We decide with our own data type. So it is my diagram class implements writable comparable. Ravi, you just shown the writable only. Where is the writable comparable? So I'll tell you guys what is the writable comparable. Writable comparable is the another class, sorry, interface. extended writable and comparable, two different interfaces. So writable comparable is another interface which extended writable and writable comparable. Guys, a question to you guys. Now I just explained what is a writable. So writable is for the serializing and deserializing. Then what is a comparable? What is a comparable? Who will tell me what is a comparable?
To compare the object identity. That
To
method
compare the two
used.
objects. To compare the two objects. Why should I compare two objects? Why should I compare the two objects?
When we, for the shorthand shuffle, right, that needs, reducer needs to know.
Exactly. Exactly. Very nice, Matsudan. So your K2 is a diagram. K2 is a different data type. Your K2 is a different data type, which is you created a diagram object. Then your mechanism will not know how to compare this. Your framework will not know how to compare the different data types than your existing data types. So to make aware of your framework, you are telling to your diagram class, implement the comparable interface. That's why I'm going with the implements writable comparable interface. If you go with writable comparable interface, you have to provide the body for read these two methods, write and read fields, and you also has to provide the body for compare to method. Compare to method from where? Comparable interface. Your comparable interface has the compare to method. You have to specify how to do comparison. You have to specify how to do comparison. I hope everyone understand. I hope everyone understand. This is a little tricky one. It's not tricky, little different than your regular no use cases. Okay, so I have created my own class where I have a word 1 and word 2, word 1 and word 2. So as soon as I implement writable comparable, I have to provide a body for read fields, write method and compare to method. These three methods I must provide. If I didn't provide the body for these three, again it will start complaining some compile time error. Okay, what I'm doing inside will explain that. What I'm doing inside, I'll explain that. Don't not to worry. Apart from that, I need to write my setters and getters because I need to set some values. I need to get some values in the different places, and I need to override toString. Why should I override toString? Anyone? Why should I override toString method? Please, anyone tell me.
When you write it as a key,
toString method. toString method.
oh, print that value. When you
Okay. So when I want emit emit data, when I want to write the data into file, if I didn't implement a toString method, what will happen? Can we write an object into a file directly? You cannot write object into file. If you start writing an object into file, what will happen? It will display some garbage value, some hash code value. To write it in properly, we have to convert into string. Suppose you want to put your object into log file, or you want to display your object into console, you have to implement the toString method. Okay, so in the hash code and equals to compare the equality of the objects, we will discuss all these things tomorrow. So yeah, I'm winding up for today. So tomorrow we'll continue the same class and we will discuss more about it tomorrow.